Welcome, Khatija. It's an absolute pleasure to be talking to you. Such a wonderful, positive person who constantly creates content for the newcomer community, for the entrepreneurs, the small businesses. I know you're an award-winning digital media strategist. Let's have from you, how would you describe yourself?
Okay, thank you so much, Taranum, for welcoming me. It is an absolute pleasure to be in conversation with you. How will I describe myself? I think so briefly, I would say professionally, as you mentioned, I'm a social media strategist. I help small businesses to shine online in an organic and genuine way. That's my expertise. That's basically come from the person who I am. So that's professionally. Personally, if I describe myself, I'm very entrepreneurial. I like to take risks. I like to learn. So I'm a risk taker. I'm a lifelong learner. I like to just learn and evolve, specifically in the niche of social media, digital marketing, and definitely my newcomers to Canada space. So the third part of me is, apart from professional and personal, the third is my personal calling, which is helping and giving back to newcomers to Canada community, and so far I've been trying to do it online and offline through events. Now not events, it's through more social media content creation. So this is me in short.
Well, this is so wonderful. And with the way things are, COVID-19 has impacted the physical distancing piece, but we can always stay connected socially. And maybe you will have events online. We've done some events online, remember the international LinkedIn locals. So maybe we can do something on those lines together. Who knows?
Yes, we are in I think so, evolving and testing and trying and refining, defining. So yes, there is we can. You never know what happens. Yeah. So virtual events are very much in vogue now. So yes, it can happen. Yeah.
Wonderful. Because we brought up COVID-19 and how it has changed the way we are conducting our daily lives, how has it impacted you? I mean, I would like to know in two specific ways. Personally, how has your life changed, and then professionally?
Okay, thank you so much for asking me that question. It has been, I think so, you're the first one asking me that. I think so, personally, my life has completely topsy-turvied. Like, I work from home, so my personal and professional life is home. Initially, like if you say, my husband used to go to work, my son used to go to school. So I used to have a slot of 10 to 3 where I used to work with focus. I had certain professional goals, and I used to give very focused time to whatever I had, my professionally, whatever my goals were. So now that everybody is at home, that focus is somehow there and then not there. I think so I'm adapting to how things are. Professionally now, the professional working hours have reduced, but I have worked around a routine in which if whatever working hours I'm giving, they're more concentrated and they're more focused. I have small goals now, daily small goals, which basically stack on each other to achieve my long weekly and then monthly goals. So you can say I've become more productive in terms of planning, which initially I took for granted because I had focused time at my discretion. Now with a child, a 6-year-old, a naughty child, and a fully hyperactive child at home, I have to take into account his homeschooling. I have to take into account multiple snack and meal times. I have to take into account of playing time with him. So with that in my schedule, I have definitely reduced professionally the time, but I have become more focused, and I have adapted few techniques which I can use professionally to stay productive in that limited time. And I'm doing good. Like with 4th week into the work from home routine, I think so I'm doing productively well.
Mm-hmm.
My son is somewhat happy, although he says to spend all the time with him, which is quite difficult. Like we do have
Obviously.
talks that he needs to manage himself sometimes. So far so good in the fourth week. Now we have a set routine. I'm doing well with whatever limited time I'm giving to my work. Professionally, I have a mix of professional and personal both because I
Which
work
is true
from
for
home.
all of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now it is true for all of us.
Yeah.
Over and above professionally, how I've been hit, I basically consult small businesses. So that is my primary audience. I have been serving for past 1.5 years since I opened my business. So I have been directly impacted.
Mm-hmm.
My revenue has gone down by 75 to 80% since March 13th, and there are a few clients. They are all small businesses. So most of my clients are in-person services. They offer in-person services, so they have closed down because of the closures.
Yeah.
So of course, when they are not earning revenue, they are backing out.
Obviously.
So what I have done since March 13, as everybody is evolving professionally, I have come around to revive my business through different tools, which I can offer to my small businesses. So some of my businesses, they don't have revenue to hire me. So, but few are interested in the services which I'm offering. So I've taken them on at a lower rate because they can't afford me. Over and above, I'm working on another stream of revenue. So I'm diversifying from complete consultation to education piece as well. I'm also diversifying into another piece as well. So basically, professionally now since March 13, I have completely revamped the way I think as an entrepreneur. I am not putting my all eggs in one basket. I am diversifying the streams, and the main stream that I had consultation, I am revamping the way I can help those who can take on my services.
So, who would be your ideal clients? If I want to, if somebody is listening to this, and if you would want to elaborate, what
Sure.
would be an ideal professional that would reach out for your help?
Okay, so right now I'm serving, one is the consultation part. So any solopreneur who has just started out, any small businesses who is within the age, with the business life of 1 to let's say 10 years. Specifically, I have clients whom I'm serving between one is just a startup, one has been in the market for 10 years, then one is 5 years old. So any range between 1 to 10 years, I'm serving them. Also, ideal client would be any professional who is looking for becoming effective with their very strong online personal branding. I have started consulting on that part as well, on the coaching part. And on the education part, I'm starting to offer social media online courses, very, very short, affordable online courses. And the client for that would be any professional who wants to, because right now whoever has been working is looking for avenue to create an online personal brand. So apart from coaching, I'm creating short online courses which they can buy at an affordable price. So professionals looking for online personal brand, and on the consultation side, any small businesses between 1 to 10 years of business age.
Perfect. Yeah. This is perfect. So what would be your tips as of now, given the scenario we are in, on how people can stay afloat with their marketing pieces, because that's your expertise? How can they continue to let's say survive the burn of what we are in right now?
Okay, so I will give advices at two fronts. One is the small businesses, and the other are the professionals who might be looking for opportunities for whatever reason they want to explore social media. So for businesses, I am advising this to every social media small businesses who are exploring it, that you have to do sales for sure, but how you sell your product has completely changed in current scenario. So you don't have to be very upfront in your promotions. You need to frame the communication in such a way that it is empathetic. It shows that you are caring. It shows that you are here to help the consumer in a very caring, empathetic, and an organic and genuine way. Because right now the ambience or the mindset of the consumer is such that if you start badging out with completely promotional, sensational, commercialized messages, it will not speak to them. Because everybody has been affected by COVID-19 at some front. And if fortunately you have not been, the news that we are consuming as a consumer, we have, by nature as humans, we have become more empathetic, we have become more caring. So I think so the first piece of advice to any small businesses who should, I think so right now, explore being on social media is, because eyeballs are on social media. The people who are at the home, their way out is through social media and through other digital mediums. So you have more eyeballs there. There is more opportunity for you to be out there, because you can shine while other might be leaving because they cannot afford or they are not being out there. So I think so there are more eyeballs out there, but put out content which is empathetic, which is genuine, rather than just saying, just an example, hey, this can help you with XYZ problem of yours, and we can help you in XYZ price point. So rather than saying this out loud, you can say that we understand that we all are going through tough times. We understand that it's an unprecedented situation, and here is how I can help you. And here is how I am there for you. Here is how I can solve this problem of yours if you're experiencing it while at home. So just reframing the context and saying the resolution of the pain point of customer in an empathetic and genuine way is something that is very needed.
Second, so you're making a very valid point here. I'd like to add, it's now becoming more a relationship piece than a sales pitch, where you are developing a relationship, because that's how people will remember in terms of how you treated them when the things weren't the best.
Yes. Okay. And one thing, because I create a lot of LinkedIn content, which is a professional content that I consume, and the top leaders that I follow, the market strategists, experts, they all are saying the same thing. Brands, the way brands behave now will create a benchmark of sustainability of relationship for long term. So this is my piece of advice for small businesses, and also I think so this advice would apply for personal online personal brands as well. So if I'm a professional, if I'm looking for a job and I want to start creating a go-to space within whatever space you might be working in, I want to create that trust authority in that space, which I want to land my ideal job in. So again, same thing goes for them. You need to start creating short snippets or short pieces of content around the area that might solve the problem of your ideal organization. So that requires a lot of researching into the landscape, whichever company you're targeting, what are the problems that they are facing, and you start exhibiting. For example, if I'm a marketing strategist and I want to work in, let's say, a CPG company. So CPG company are right now facing large consumerism basically, and they are basically keeping up with the demand of whatever comes on shelves. So probably you identify and research for that problem, and you start exhibiting your expertise at what CPG companies can do in order to tackle that panic consumer buying behavior, or how they can portray themselves. So what I'm trying to say is that for if professionals exploring social media, they should start creating short snippet content which exhibit their expertise.
Wonderful. So in a way, presenting the solutions they are able to offer for problems that exist for employers.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Though I know it's not the easiest task, it's easier said than done. I know how hard it is. And honestly, this is from my personal experience too. When I'm talking to a person, I'm talking to you, I'm fine doing the videos, no issues at all. The minute you put me in front of a camera by myself and you expect me to talk to the camera, not happening. I will fumble. I will just forget. I will go blank. That's the hardest. And I know that more and more companies now are taking interviews online, which and they expect you to record yourself and then submit those. I tell you, if something like that was to happen to me, that's a disaster right there.
I think so, Taranum. There, whoever is watching out there with this, definitely one problem. So this is definitely a problem. I wouldn't call it a problem. It's a challenge for
Yeah,
whoever.
it is a challenge. It's getting used to.
Yes, whoever is facing the camera for the first time, I think so. One of the coaching advice that I give to my clients, and specifically, I have been interacting with a lot of newcomers to Canada who, because there's a different way of how things are done back home where they're coming from, the origin country, and how things work here in Canada. You need to come out very, very genuine and organic. So now with virtual things, so you need to first of all accept with the mindset that now this is the new normal, and there are a lot of resources online to which you can learn on how to be organic and genuine when you are facing the camera. But one thing that I advise most of the people I interact with, try not to bring the false self. Try not to
be authentic.
Try not to hide behind who you are not. You need to be as genuine as possible. And the first tip that I gave is having an eye contact. So eye contact with the camera. You need to have expressions. You might, if you want, you can use your hand as well, because it's all part of being authentic and being who you are. Yeah,
absolutely. And I believe the best of actors have said that one thing that you cannot do is lie to a camera. The camera will pick up on your the hidden emotion, the hidden mindset. It just has that capacity. You will unconsciously, through either your body language or whatever not, you will convey who you are. So it's up to you to be genuine and authentic.
And
so,
also
go ahead.
And also to what you were saying, my advice to the starters with the camera would be that if you're not comfortable with the camera at a go, you can start creating content with just text. You don't even need to put a visual, because how the algorithm works on LinkedIn, text based post also gets picked up if it's engaged in the first time of the posting. It do gets picked up by the algorithm, and if you use the relevant hashtags, because your post can start trending with relevant hashtags. So you can start off with the text, then you can progress towards text plus the visuals is easy for any non graphic designer by using tools like Canva or Trello. You can download their applications on your phone, and it's like a ready-made graphics. You just need to put in the text and you just need to upload it and the text in the post. So you can move from text-based post to text plus visual, and then when you're comfortable, you can start creating video content, because video is the love of engagement online.
Yeah, now more so. Now, like, you don't have a choice. You have to get there.
Yes.
So and that's how I got pushed into it, because it was more out of care. Honestly, for me, it was. It was a conversation with Mishad that triggered it, in terms of we were talking about how disheartening it has been, and the number of messages I was getting about layoffs, and the situation is going to be a very long time. So what can be done in the meantime? So around that, and with that many messages, it's very hard for me to respond to each and every person. You can imagine the number of conversations I would end up having.
I'm sure. And the great thing about you, Taranum, you have the resources which you can mobilize. Like, you have great people in your network which you can mobilize, and I'm sure the content that you will be creating will be answers to many out there.
Oh, exactly. And honestly, you made such a valuable point. I could not have done this by myself. As I told you, I'm limited when it comes to looking at the camera and talking. I can talk to people for the whole day. So had my network, which includes you yourself and so many amazing giving people, so many people who are kind, and these are all experts from various industries, had they not been so forthcoming in saying yes, let's do this, I'd give my time, I wouldn't be able to do this. And again, back to that relationship piece, I'm grateful for the relationships I've had built in for so long that now when I reached out, they were very quick to say yes, and they were very giving in the time they're spending with me, including you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, okay, this is amazing. Tell me, have you observed any acts of kindness that you'd like to give shout outs to?
Yes, yeah, I have seen amazing acts of kindness. Like I call my community, most of my community is virtual community. As I said, my profession, because of my profession, I am eating, sleeping, doing everything online. So I'm literally whatever time I have, like 4 to 5 hours in a day, for 5 days in a week, I'm consuming and creating content. Definitely not for myself. Some part is myself, and most is for my clients from different industries. So one thing, one act of kindness that I've seen coming out is definitely the LinkedIn community. That's where I spend most of my time. And there are a few names that I can give a shout out to. One is Laura. She's from the marketing field again, and she does post around curated content of around curated content around job opportunities, curated content around resources which can lead to further resources to help and guide job seekers. She is creating content about her experiences as a newcomer and as a job search. So I don't know her full name, but Laura, you can look for Laura from.
Let's have you send me the link, and we can tag her so that she knows how appreciative you are of what she's doing.
Yeah, so Laura is one of them. Then another one is Gurpreet Singh. She is a recruiter that I follow. She is doing an amazing job of she's not a recruiter, but she is into career coaching basically.
Okay.
So guiding job seekers who are looking for jobs is definitely one piece which is so relevant now. So what she does is that she consults and she coaches, and there is an education piece to it. And okay, she's doing that for her bread and butter, but what is she doing extra for the act of kindness? She's offering free virtual meetups where she's giving free job search advices. She is doing LinkedIn lives for 5 days a week. I think so 30 minutes, 30 to 1 hour. She's giving free job search coaching. So I think so she is doing this very, very persistently for 5 days a week. So she's giving a virtual networking opportunity for job seekers to interact with, and then she's giving free job search advice. So that's wonderful. The second shout out. And the third shout out I would like to give is there are varied, but one company that is doing it very persistently is definitely Volunteer Canada. I'm seeing them putting out very, very empathetic content pieces, which is so relevant to their audience who are looking for basically volunteering opportunities. So these are the 3 shout outs I would like to give.
Wonderful.
Who are doing great on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, any platform, I know our favorite one remains LinkedIn, and we engage a lot there. But yeah, the jobs are there, the content is there. What are your tips for people, especially based on what is happening now, when they are using LinkedIn? How should they go about it?
Okay, I think so the tips that I've shared earlier about being authentic and organic and being empathetic is definitely the first and the integral part of whatever I'll be talking now. One thing that I'll say that using LinkedIn as a platform right now is so important now, specifically for the job seekers, and I'm coming back to my community, which is Newcomers to Canada community, because LinkedIn has a very hidden opportunity. There are 630 million professionals on this platform globally, plus 300 million plus are active. So, and only 1% of them had been creating contents like a few months back. So now I'm sure more are getting active, but still you can be an early adapter in your space and create that online personal brand and become more visible between the hiring managers or recruiters you might be targeting. So I think so the first advice would be have a mindset that you need to invest time in LinkedIn, because once you go into LinkedIn with not a mindset that yes, you will be reaping benefit and long term, frustrates a lot of people in short term and they give up. So having a mindset that the investment that you are making, let's say 1 hour creating content and interacting with people, you have to do it persistently over a period of 3 to 4 months. How LinkedIn work and how I think so how social media works, you have to create that online trust, and online trust is not easy. You don't let a stranger in your house just like that. So you need to be there, have a to and fro of conversation to develop that trust. So first piece of advice is have a very neat LinkedIn profile. There is a lot of resources out there. I'm not going to go into that. Have a very clean house to entertain your targeted audience, and which is your LinkedIn profile. Second is you need to start creating content. By content, I mean start creating posts. Start with text posts, go to text plus visual, and then probably short snippets, 30-seconder or maximum 60-seconder native videos. By native, I mean uploading the videos originally from the platform. So start creating content, intentional content, where you want to get hired, whatever your goal is, to get hired, to get a client for whatever space you are working in. And then start networking intentionally. I know we have a lot of time and then we don't have time given in what scenario you are. So with whatever time or resources you might have, and you might commit, let's say 2 hours, so 1 hour, half an hour for creating content, half an hour for relationship building. So do relationship building with the people intentionally you want to have good relationship with, for whatever reasons, informational interview, getting a referral, XYZ, whatever it is. But again, when you and how you can create that, how you can find that right person, you can use LinkedIn search bar. There are so many amazing filters here to identify who you can identify 5 people, and you can have 5 people each one day for 5 days a week, and keep those 5 people for a month to create that relationship. So go on their content, do a to and fro of conversations, leave very insightful and thoughtful remark around the space that you are in. Again, that person might be posting about his personal interest, so talking and giving back about personal interest is also important to create that relationship.
I am so glad that you mentioned the process and the steps, because this is one thing that people miss. And despite the number of times I have posted about it, and I'm sure there are so many content creators that speak to it time and again, but I don't know what it is. Either it's the desperation or the impatience of getting where they need to be, that people miss out on the step of relationship building, developing that rapport before they go into the ask. And I know we are all in a hurry to find the job and be there, but if you do not take the time to build that relationship, it's not gonna, the person that you're reaching out to probably will not be in that frame of mind where they can direct you towards those opportunities that are available for you to tap into. So very, very important to build that relationship piece. This is wonderful.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure sharing this, because I'm seeing this now and again, and I'm experiencing it at my end as well, as a receiver and as a giver as well. As a receiver, like, people are messaging me that if you have any opportunity, if you can connect me. And now I am in a more giving way, so I try to, but I cannot cater to all. If there is one message which is highly customized and where I can relate to, I take that message and then I try to connect. But again, having said that, you need to invest at least a week if you're not investing, because I know these are desperate times. People might be in a hurry. So for example, if I say 1 month earlier, at least spend 1 week interacting with the content, and then probably go for an ask with a very empathetic and highly customized way.
Absolutely. Great point, Khatija. This is an absolutely brilliant point. Knowing how to reach out to people and then having the tailored ask where the person responds because you have shown empathy, they will be empathetic towards you as
Mhm.
well. So, you give and you give and you give constantly on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
in your new Comers to Canada groups, on Facebook as well. Tell me, if there was a magic wand and you could ask a wish for yourself, what would that be?
Let me
Let's do the one.
string my magic wand, abracadabra. Okay, my wish would definitely be that first of all, right now in current scenario, my first wish is going to be that this coronavirus just disappears from the face of the world, just
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
With the with
With the magic.
yeah, with the magic wand or with the snap of my finger, it just reminds me of Thanos from Avengers. Like you snap the finger
Finger
and
hits.
it disappears. So
Yeah.
that would be definitely right now my first wish, that this virus just evaporate from the face of the earth. The second thing would be that I just wish, and it has been my long-term sustainable wish, that everybody sees each other as human, irrespective of all the differences, if irrespective of whatever they might be coming from in terms of diversity. They acknowledge that we are human first. So that has been my long time wish, that we interact with other person as a human.
Yeah. So
um,
people receive you as is instead of the
yeah.
judgment.
Yes. So yes, that is definitely the following part of it, that when you meet the other person as a human, you are equal.
Mhm.
And whatever things that might be attached with that person, it is his own choices, it is his own belongingness, which we respectfully respect, but first see each other as equals, as humans, which we all are. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. To see the human being rather than all the other
Yeah.
pieces that are attached, the other identities, let's say, that come along with that being.
Yeah. Although we are respectful for whatever they might be associated with, very much, because diversity is there, and giving the voice to that diversity is the strength of I think so, being a Canadian. But again, see the other person as a human, the emotions, the needs, the way you will feel it, the other person will feel the same thing.
Absolutely. So, in one line, treating the other people, others, like for that matter, treating other people as you would like to be treated yourself.
The self. Great, yes.
Wonderful. That's such a sweet and noble thought, I would say. Only if we could all follow that, this world would be so much
Much.
happier, so much at peace. Let's hope, let's pray for that to happen. Okay, one piece of advice before I let you go.
Okay, one piece of advice that I'll give to everybody, whoever is listening to me right now, is first, take this current situation, although we know this pandemic has been a new to all of us. Nobody has experienced this situation, and we all are taking it the way it is, and we are learning and adapting. So take this opportunity, and think of it as an opportunity. So it all comes from the mindset. So I would say, try to have a growth mindset. You can go and Google this term, growth mindset. Everybody should take this as an opportunity to learn something new, to evolve, and to adapt. Because as human beings, we have been doing it subconsciously probably, but now you need to do it consciously. That
Mhm.
take this as an opportunity, and whatever challenges you are facing, turn it into a strength and evolve. And definitely you will learn something new, and there will be more new opportunities coming along the way. So have a very good conscious growth mindset.
Wonderful piece of advice, Khatija. As always, you've been lovely, and I completely agree with you. whether it's COVID-19 or in our normal day-to-day life, nothing better than having a growth mindset and staying positive and continuing to learn from the situations we are in. So this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
Please make sure to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell to keep updated with all our videos. Thank you.